السلام عليكم جمهور متابعي قناة عالم التكنولوجيا على اليوتيوب وصفحة عالم التكنولوجيا على الفيسبوك، ومعادنا النهاردة مع اختبار شابتر 6 من دورة ال IT Essentials من سيسكو. زي ما عودناكم ان انتوا تقدروا تتواصلوا مع فريق الدعم الفني بتاعنا للقناة، تطلبوا اي دورة اي ماده علمية عن طريق www.worldoftekhome.com، وكل ده هيتوفر مجانا ان شاء الله. دايما اقول لكم ما تنسوش تدعمونا دايما بلايك وشير وسبسكرايب للقناه ولايك للفيديو ده، ونبتدي مع بعض شابتر 6 وهو عباره عن 14 سؤال، ونشوف الدنيا فيها ايه ونحلهم مع بعض. طبعا كلهم اختياري زي ما احنا متعودين من امتحانات سيسكو. السؤال الاولاني بيقول which protocol dynamically assign IP addresses to network devices. select one ICMP ولا DNS ولا RARP ولا TCP ولا DHCP. هتبقى DHCP. السؤال التاني بيقول which filtering method uses IP addresses to specify allowed devices on your network. select one MAC address filtering ولا port forwarding ولا white listing ولا port triggering ولا black listing. هتبقى white listing. السؤال التالت بيقول a wireless router is displaying the IP address of 192.168.0.1. What could this mean? The NAT function is not working on the wireless router. The wireless router still has the factory default IP addresses. Dynamic IP addresses allocation has been configured on the router and is functionally correctly. The wireless router has been configured to use the frequencies on channel 1. هتبقى the wireless router still has the factory default IP addresses. السؤال الرابع بيقول a new computer workstation has been installed in a small office. The user of the workstation can print a document using a network printer on the LAN but can't access the internet. What is a possible cause of the problem? The DHCP server IP addresses is misconfigured ولا the gateway IP addresses is misconfigured ولا the TCP IP stack is not functional ولا the workstation is configured with a static IP address. هتبقى the gateway IP addresses is misconfigured. The gateway IP addresses is misconfigured. السؤال رقم 5 بيقول a computer is assigned an IP address of 169.254.33.16. What can be said about the computer based on the assigned addresses? Select one. It has a public IP address that has been translated to a private IP addresses. ولا it can communicate on the local network as well as on the internet. ولا it can communicate with network inside a particular company with subnets. ولا it can't communicate outside its own network. هتبقى it can't communicate outside its own network. السؤال السادس بيقول what command can be used to troubleshoot domain name resolution issues. select one nslookup ولا get ولا arab a ولا tracert. هتبقى nslookup. السؤال السابع بيقول which protocol is used by Bing to test connectivity between network hosts. TCP ولا DHCP ولا ICMP ولا ARP. هيبقى ICMP. السؤال الثامن بيقول a user reports that the corporate web server can't be accessed. A technician verifies that the web server can be accessed by its IP addresses. What are two possible causes of the problem? Choose two. What are the two possible causes of the problem? Choose two. Select one or more. The default gateway address is misconfigured on the workstation. The network connection is down. The web server is misconfigured. The DNS server address is misconfigured on the workstation. The web server information is misconfigured on the DNS server. هتبقى the DNS server address is misconfigured on the workstation. The web server information is misconfigured on the DNS server. السؤال اللي بعده بيقول a computer has been assigned on IP address of 16.254.33.16. What command initialize the process of requesting a new IP address? Select one. net computer ولا nslookup ولا tracert ولا ipconfig ولا release. هتبقى ipconfig release. ipconfig release. السؤال العاشر بيقول what is the problem if a computer automatically configures an IP address in the 16.254.x.x address range? Select one. The computer is configured with an incorrect default gateway ولا DNS server is unreachable ولا DHCP server is unreachable ولا the computer NS is disabled. هتبقى the DSHCP server is unreachable. A customer has a web server for a small business. The business uses both wired and wireless networking. A Linksys WRT300N wireless router provided wireless and wired connectivity. What firewall option may be enabled in order for customer to gain access to the web server from their remote location? Port forwarding, port triggering, web MAC address filtering. هتبقى port forwarding. A device has been assigned the IPv6 address of 2001 0 GB cafe مش عارفة ايه أرقام كتير كده. which is the network indicator of the device. هتبقى 2001 2 دوت اللي هو الجزء الأولاني ده 0 db 8.cafe.4500 ده ال defender of the device network defender. Question 13. What is the result when the DHCP server aren't operation in a network? Select one. Workstation are assigned with IP address in the 10.0.0.0 على 8 network, while workstation are assigned with IP address in the 169.254.0.0 على 16 network, while workstation are assigned with IP address 0.0.0.0 ولا workstation are assigned with the IP address 127.0.0.1. هتبقى workstation are assigned with IP addresses in the 169.254.0.0 على 16 network. السؤال رقم 14. A technique which is to update the NIC driver for a computer. What is the best location for finding a new driver for the NIC? The installation media that came with the NIC ولا the website for the manufacturer of the NIC ولا the installation media for Windows ولا Windows update ولا the website for Microsoft. هتبقى the website for the manufacturer of the NIC. وبكده يبقى احنا خلصنا Chapter 6 من امتحان IT Essential من سيسكو، ونشوفكم على خير المرة الجاية في Chapter 7. ودايما اقول لكم ما تنسوش تدعمونا بلايك وشير وسبسكرايب للقناة ولايك للفيديو ده، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.